just through the glass. It's difficult because of the fogging to make out exactly what they are. You can hear them whispering much more clearly, but it's very hard to hear what they're saying. You can see, though, that these figures, they're not... The lights that they're emitting, it's not flame. It's definitely cold. It's a kind of ethereal light. And these writhing figures are wearing armor and horned helms.
Does anybody else see this?
Anybody else who comes in the chapel will notice it now. Godfrey watches as anyone who enters.
Okay.
If Cog enters, I'd like to know that.
He probably has no recollection of what happened with the Shadow Dragon. And I'm assuming nobody really filled him in or flipped him out. He's still kind of leery and not really happy about walking past the statue, but he's kind of addressing, kind of just looking around at all the dead guys.
So you do go into the chapel?
Yes.
Godfrey watches you as you enter, and his eyes lock on the coin welded to the front of your armor, and he says, "Come closer."
Why? Kind of like leads away looking at him like, why?
You are a strange automaton, but that upon your armor, I may recognize that, even if I do not recognize what you are.
Yeah, well, you're a weird corpse. You don't hear me pointing it out. Cog approaches.
He pulls at his bindings, and you can see the thorns on them kind of digging into his dead flesh. And he tries to get it close to the coin to look at it, and he says, "Closer."
Cog isn't too excited about this, so he extends his wrist blade, his blade a little bit. It takes a step closer, and if he gets too close, he's gonna point it at his chest. It's easy.
He gets close enough that he can put his eye up to the side of the coin where the welding is, and he says, "It bears the disgusting visage of the devil Strahd von Zarevich, but this is not just any Barovian coin. I know where this came from. The outlying towns around Barovia used to mint these. They were old even then. But I watched as Strahd's forces ransacked those towns. Some of the coins they marked on the side, as this one is marked. Those coins were intended for his personal treasury at Castle Ravenloft. This coin is very far from where it should be."
His name is Shiny, and you'll address him with respect.
He just shakes his head, and he says, "It is of no further interest." And he backs his head up again, kind of relieving the pressure that he had put on the bindings.
Cog kind of pokes him a little bit to aid in the going back, he's gently pushing him with the tip. Kind of okay, personal space, pal. But yeah, that's
what type of roll do I need to make to see if I understand why these souls are all here, where these souls came from and such?
Like a intelligence check to just to try to understand what's happening, based on what you know from the past?
Yeah,
you could do maybe Arcana or Religion.
Both are pretty good. So Oof. That's 10.
As far as you can tell, these are probably semi-ethereal. You're guessing they're spirits, some kind of undead. They appear to be confined inside of these lanterns. The cold radiating off of them is probably a byproduct of the energy that maintains them.
Melino's going to turn to Godfrey. When did these spirits start to appear in these lanterns?
He turns his head in an unnatural way, slowly, and he says, "Those are the spirits of Strahd von Zarevich's soldiers, members of his army that were slain here at the castle. These particular soldiers were involved in killing Argynvost on the final day of the war. Afterward, Commander Horngard ordered that their spirits be imprisoned to suffer here for all eternity without hope of rest or reincarnation. I have seen that they have been invigorated by the ritual that you performed earlier."
Are you saying that they're back in hopes that I perform the ritual again, only this time listing their names?
I believe they want their freedom. As long as they are contained in those lanterns, they will never be free. I personally relinquished all hatred for them long ago. Many were but children themselves when they joined Strahd's army. They were fighting for mere coin to feed themselves or their families. They share not the blame for the hubris of their masters. I might have freed them myself, if not stayed by Vladimir's command.
Baldo's going to turn to the group and then pointedly look at Esmeralda. I need help getting the names of these spirits, Esmeralda. While the others...
Continue. Did you?
Well... yes, I did. I'm sorry. While the others go on, would you stay with me so I may do this?
Are you so sure that you need their names at all? It seems to me that if what Godfrey says is true, we may simply only need to open the lantern to release them. Your ritual may have only called them here.
Cog's gonna walk up to one of the lanterns and start tapping it. Like, I wish there was like a clumsy roll so I could like break it on accident.
If you intend to break it, you can do that. But if you're just tapping it, the spirit inside begins to flicker brightly, and you can feel intense cold on your hand.
Cog's gonna take one of the lanterns and just try to crack it in half with his hand.
Yeah, that's easily done. So you just smash it with one of your hands. The spirit inside briefly turns into a bright light, which floats out, and then it appears before you. It snaps to attention, and you can clearly see that it resembles the horn-helmed knights that you saw in that vision earlier on old battlefield. After snapping to attention, it gives you a military salute, and then it disappears in a puff of light.
I guess Hector will go to the other lantern then, and he's not strong enough, I imagine, so he's just gonna take his rapier out and break it that way.
The same thing happens to you. Again, it gives you a military salute before disappearing.
I think Hector will salute it back.
I kind of just like nodded at it. Was like, move on, little capitalist.
How many lanterns are there?
I believe there were 6 or something. Let me see.
Sure. Asio will walk up to another one and crack it
There are
open.
6. Okay. Each time that you open a lantern, they disappear after saluting you. Do you want to open the remaining 3?
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
regardless of who opens them, they all disappear. And when you have finished this, Godfrey nods to Melano with respect, and then looks at those of you who released the spirits, and he says, "You are kind, as is fitting of those who might have been called here by Argynvost himself." Kindness
Well,
was an important
there's a
quality
lot
in his
of-
hands.
Pain already in this world. There's no more need for any unnecessary suffering.
I
What
agree
can I
with
say?
that sentiment.
I got a soft spot for penny pinchers.
I certainly hope that you survive this mansion. It seems, with the sigil of this Order of the Silver Dragon upon you, that you are well equipped, and you may be able to convince those remaining dead here who are more hostile that they should leave you alone.
Well, Hog, I think you should probably stay here, though.
Why?
Well, do you remember that shadow we saw when we were first here?
What are you talking about? I went out for like a breath of air or something like that, right? Didn't we get attacked by woodland animals? That's why there's a bunch of animal corpses out front, right?
No. This mansion was owned by a very righteous silver dragon.
Which is dead.
Was
Might
that
have.
the word for every comes out? Cog turns right around and says, well, maybe not. Like,
That's why I'm
there
saying you
was,
should stay here, then.
so
Or
Cog
stay
says, like,
outside.
previously owned?
It's dead, but we're here to investigate its spirit.
It's spirit, as in it's not dead.
It is dead, but its soul is not dead.
You mean like him?
No, he's undead.
Well, then if it's not undead, then what is it? Is it dead or not?
It's a ghost. The dragon
At
that's a
that
ghost.
point, Cog turns right around on his heel and just starts walking back out the door. Now we're going back to coffee. This place is Jubon.
It's just a ghost. We killed those many of them. Cog. At the end of the day, ghosts are the same.
There was no killing. Go.
It's fine.
Cog is
We
like
can do this
trying to
without Hog.
Sure.
Look, as long as he doesn't short circuit again, it's fine.
You can just stay outside or stay in the safe area.
But Hector, don't you think exposure therapy is the best therapy for Cog right now?
I do not know enough about mental health to get an answer to that.
I'm not that kind of
My
guy.
specialty is more in the physical kinds of wounds.
I don't think we have a mental health form yet. Anyways,
But not about forms. About you know, lecturing. Cog seems to have this irrational fear of a dead dragon shouldn't.
Irrational? Irrational? What turns irrational? There's something irrational about a fear of dragons. Alive or not, if that thing's running around, everything's dead. We all need
As
to
well-
get the piss out of here.
As the organism, shouldn't we help him get over that?
Over that, you're all gonna be dead. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be filing new employee reports.
So if we all calm down,
I'm
Maybe.
calm.
Calm down. You guys are acting like this is a normal setup.
Melindo actually does take the opportunity and she does pass out. Hold on, I gotta find the form real quick.
Esmeralda
Cog,
looks around.
I understand why you might have had
Let's
bad.
Oh wait, we do have a
Interactive
mental
with
health and
that.
madness claim form.
Hilarious.
I completely forgot about that.
Why I am completely understanding if you do not want to partake in this, but we should still, as a group, do that even if it's without you.
Why are you all looking at me like I'm the weird one? There's a 10-ton metal lizard of death who's a ghost who could probably eat every single one of us in a second.
Melino takes the time and she passes out a resurrection and life insurance claim form to everyone.
And you,
Conrad.
Cog, are a big
Conrad.
hunk of steel that bashed a hag's skull in. I think you'll be
that
fine.
matters? A 10-ton lizard had turned me into a pancake. I saw it 1,000,000 times over. Cog like snatches the life insurance policy from Mel like absent-mindedly while talking to Azrael, and he's like, he takes a look at it like, what the? Oh, this is a good policy. I can tell he looks over, and is like, no, this is really good.
Cog, there are more
Thank-
dangerous things than dragons in the
Oh.
world.
Yeah. I call flesh sack on that. You haven't seen the things I've seen.
As
Everyone, just in
powerful
case
as an
we do
individual
die-
dragon might be, at the end of the day, there are more powerful things that we have to concern ourselves with.
Pardon me if I claim down on that. If you don't want to get killed, fine, go ahead. I'm out of here.
Cog, we're literally against Strahd, and he is considered a god around these lands.
Yeah, but he can't crush me like a can, so I'll talk to you later.
I think he can.
Cog,
He probably
But-
could.
by us filling out these forms, you, by liability, have to get us all resurrected.
Ooh.
How much does that cost?
From what I remember, for a person, it should require a very rare, expensive spell and a diamond worth of 300 each.
Cog starts snatching everyone's contracts away. Like, do not sign these. You are suicidal. I'm supposed to-
As I've mentioned, it is the ghost of a dragon. The dragon that should be on our side, if anything else.
It's a silver dragon. Hey, Cog, fun fact: silver dragons are nice.
I don't care what it thinks it is. I don't have a concept of nice. And neither does that 10-ton dead lizard.
Well, how about we say a silver dragon is one who could write contracts? Would that be better?
It doesn't help very much, no.
What about the fact that dragons normally have a hoard of gold?
Yeah, been there, done that.
What about the fact that this dragon used to be quite like you, made of silver and metal?
I've got it. He's not a construct dragon. Just because he's a different color doesn't mean he's made out of steel. That's like me saying you and a zombie are the same thing. Don't be insensitive.
Nah.
Anyway, like I said, you don't have to do this, Cog.
But if we do find gold, we didn't sign a form.
Yeah, it's not company property.
Technically, as employees, you're. Cobb turns around. Is like sitting there reasoning with himself. Like he's not in a good state, despite all the comical yelling. He's still like twitching a little bit. But he's trying to process everything and remain calm. It's like, okay, how deep do we need to go into this dumpster fire?
Who are you asking?
Well, deep enough to find out what we need to know.
Yeah. Like Cock starts like rattling a little bit, turning around, like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? We're all gonna die. I will stay right here, and if I hear anything out in there that sounds remotely lizard-like, I'm out of here and you're all dead.
Melina still hands him a completed resurrection claim form.
Keep in mind, it takes a long time to make that stuff happen. So you'll be dead for a really long time. And I can put you all at the bottom of my priority list.
I don't know, Sharks. It wouldn't be the first time. Hog. Wouldn't be the first time.
Cog. We're here getting information from a potential ally. It's even if the dragon were alive, we would probably not be getting killed by it.
Yeah, not taking that chance. If I knew this thing was still alive, I'd be long gone. It technically is. It's still moving around. Cog yells at the door. You're not kidding me, you lizardly prick!
Anyway, Godfrey, you said that your commander still is in this mansion, correct?
Yes, I sense him. He is at the top of the beacon.
And that was the tower to the north, right?
It was the tallest tower.
That was on the north side?
I believe it was east.
East, okay.
By the way, sorry, I wanted to ask this. Am I the only one with a black screen on Roll20?
Zoom out.
Zoom out, yeah.
Oh. There we go.
Esmeralda looks around and she says, I have a very bad feeling about this place. I sense death, like the drip, drip, drip of blood.
Are
Yeah,
you
yeah.
also insisting to stay?
I will stay. It is only that it reminds me of a time with Von Richten. He was going to investigate a mausoleum. I didn't know if I felt fear or if it was my Vistani clairvoyant senses, but I told him that if he went in there, he would not be coming back alive. He just smiled.
He's over there like, yeah, the place of death. There's a freaking dragon around here.
In that case, it's worth asking if... And as you'll look to Irina, do you want to stay? Or do you want to go?
She looks at you and then looks at Esmeralda and she says, I'll also stay.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're reasonable.
As side eyes Esmeralda.
She moves on ahead.
Let's go ahead. Do our best to explore then.
Esmeralda will take up a spot next to you. Irina follows her.
Do we want to go south first?
Sure, I guess. I can go south.
Hector will go here and kind of see if he can hear anything through it first, and then open the door.
Perception check.
Okay.
Also, I'm gonna point it out that Azrael is gonna be constantly checking his spirit mirror.
Okay.
That's 18.
There is a sound, but it's very faint. You can't figure out what it is.
Hector will go to open it slowly first, and then see what's beyond it.
Okay. You slowly open the door to peek inside, and it creaks a little bit. And you see that this room is strewn with rubble throughout much of what was a vast chamber. This room has partially collapsed, bringing the rooms above it with it. On the pink marble floor are fallen chandeliers lying amid broken chairs and other furnishings. Thick webs stretch from wall to wall, and moving among them, you see too many giant spiders to count. Roll initiative.
Oh boy. Alright.
Nice. Nice. I think last session you also rolled pretty well.
Let me just figure out what you'd be able to see pretty well. Alright. Through this window. So here. Let's see what's here. I think your dark vision 15,
14. Not bad.
60, so you probably see up to about here. Okay.
That's a lot of spiders.
That's
That
a lot.
is.
Ooh, crikey.
My arachnophobia is definitely tingling.
Collins are like, yeah, but fun is it? It's alright, my wife doesn't like spiders either.
Rational fear.
Or anything spider adjacent, like camel spiders. Spiders! But no, they technically are not arachnids, they're their own group.
Spiders are fine.
Okay.
It's a rational fear. It has way too many legs, way too many eyes.
The first thing that moves is one of the spiders. It comes up to here, and it... Actually, I think I'll move it here. And it attacks Hector. It's actually... let me think this through, actually. Maybe it doesn't. It's actually going to come here. Let me double check the distance. Yeah, that's fine. And it spews silk toward all of you through the door. It's aiming at Hector. And let's see, your AC is 17?
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually misses you. The silk kind of flies between everyone. You have the door partially open and it blocks a large amount of it. I believe that's going to be its move. I'm going to keep track of something this way. Okay, Nyx is the next one to react.